Camera off. Okay.
They said 2020 couldn't get worse, and then I wake up this morning and I'm trying to listen to music, and like it's barely working. Like it's playing like 30 seconds of a song that cuts off. I can't advance tracks, can't change things.
Oh, did you get struck by lightning?
No,
Because that's what it's like.
no. Apparently, Spotify is having some
Oh,
teething issues this morning. Teething is the wrong word, actually. I should say just maybe old man-ish.
issues, just issues.
Just that issues,
Prostate issues.
That too. But yeah, I thought like probably millions of other people right now, they probably are saying, "Hey, that was me." That, and I rebooted, and then it's not working. Then I was yelling at Bluetooth, thinking it was a Bluetooth problem because all things are Bluetooth problems. But nope.
Yep.
If you're having issues this morning, it's the Spotify's. It's not you.
So here's one for you. Now that you reminded me of this, and maybe for someone listening, I don't know. Sometime last week, I had a day where I went out to the TV. Turned it on, and the soundbar just worked. And I thought, oh, here we go. Like maybe that's how this happens. Like it slowly kind of comes back. It's weird, right? Because the lightning thing has just been weird.
Yeah.
But then the next day I came out and it didn't come back on. And so I could go into the app, go through the TV setup wizard. It would just complete. It's multiple steps. It's crazy. It's like 7 or 8 steps. But at the end, it would say your TV's all set. And you hit the volume button on the control, and sure enough, it's on the soundbar. And you're like, okay, well, this is not what I want, but. And I'm like, the TV's screwed. Like maybe we're going to have to swap the TVs, whatever. But what I discovered was this is how it really works. This is how it works basically every day now. So I go in there and I turn it on. And like one day for like at lunch, I'm like, fuck it, like screw it. We'll use the TV speakers. It doesn't matter. We're just watching a sitcom. While we're watching it, a minute or two, 5 minutes in, whatever it is, all of a sudden the volume mutes and then it switches over to the soundbar. And what I've discovered is if I just go in there and turn on the TV, it will switch to the soundbar within some number of minutes. Like it comes on with the TV sound, but it does switch to the soundbar, and it's been pretty consistent. And Brad, I got to tell you, this is what it's like to age, because you find yourself accepting reduced conditions. Like, like for this is not what I want. It's not ideal. It's not the way it's supposed to work. But I'm like, you know what? I'll make that bargain with the devil or God, or whoever you choose. And if you just keep working this way, I will accept it. That's what it's like.
It's like when
that's aging in a nutshell, Brad.
It's like when you got to go to the grocery store and it's cold out, you go warm up the car.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Yeah, it's like having a diesel back in the early 80s where you had to put like a warmer thing on I forgot what they were called, the cell somethings or whatever. There's a word? Someone will remind me. But you used to have to literally plug something into part of the diesel engine in the winter because otherwise you'd never get it to start.
Yep.
Now diesel engines have built-in warmers. They run off the battery. But
yeah, that's your life. And
I'm an old 80s diesel engine.
The echo, I could hear that echo again. Still coming through.
Oh, really?
I think it's your speakers. I think
you might. You know what? I'll use. First I'll turn on the volume, and that should help. But I will use headphones in the future.
Yeah. Well, you might want to do too before
right
Windows.
Now, if you want.
Yeah, you might want to before you go to Windows Weekly this afternoon. Otherwise.
Oh, I wouldn't. I would never do a high quality podcast like this, Brad. I only do this to you.
It hurts right here. Right here.
God, we have fun. Anyway.
See, Paul and I, our definition of fun is just stabbing ourselves until one of us bleeds out. That's the nature of the relationship. It's like, oh, that was a lung.
The person's head kind of appear over you as you lay on the ground, and they go, "Are you okay?"
It's so true.
No, I'm not okay. I'm laying in a pool of blood over here.
Yeah. It's incredibly accurate. But here we are. It's whatever today is today, Wednesday. Slugging on through.
Yeah.
Break on through to the other side. I believe as Mr. Kravitz said. Maybe we'll break on through. I don't know. I had this epiphany last night. It's like, what, can the mosquitoes get COVID? Like, can those little bastards? Right. I would be willing to sacrifice 2020 if we could nuke the mosquitoes through this pandemic. But, yeah.
Yeah, even I probably observed this in the past, but one of the weird things about us moving to Pennsylvania, where it's more rural and it is more woody, like there's more trees and stuff and water everywhere, there's fewer mosquitoes here for some reason. It's very strange. And like in Massachusetts in the summer, like you couldn't really sit outside when you want to, unless you brought, these flaming pots and, all these accoutrements, to fight the mosquitoes. But here it's been great until this summer. Like this summer, that it's actually been kind of mosquito-y because, everything in 2020 has to completely suck.
Well, my 2021's already screwed. Let me explain. Are you familiar with the term cicada?
Yes. I looked this up the other day. We thought it was a tree frog. If you go outside, there's a cacophony of sounds. And it's like a katydid. It kind of falls in this category or whatever. But I was listening to this sound, and I'm like, it's so loud. I actually looked it up, and it's cicada. So we captured one. And have you ever seen these things? They have like a weird rectangular head. It almost looks like they have...
Let me explain what happens here.
Yeah. Is it one of those every X number of year things?
Yeah, every 17 years. I think something like it's literally like a biblical apocalypse. These things like crawl up out of the ground, aerate your lawn, which is sort of convenient. But they are like quite literally billions of them coming out of the ground, and the little bastards are coming next spring.
Right.
And,
So do you have gypsy moths where you live?
No.
So this is something I haven't thought about since I was a kid, but when I was young, I don't remember what year this was, we had a gypsy moth invasion in New England, and it would like destroyed trees, and these freaking things were everywhere. We actually had to put, we wrapped aluminum foil around the bases of trees and then duct taped it, and then you put, not gelatin, Vaseline or whatever on it. And the point was to prevent those things from crawling up into the tree and then making their nests. But my sister pointed out a gypsy moth thing in one of the trees in her yard. It looks like a giant web. It's like all white. And now that she's done that, I see them around, and it seems like it's late in the year. So I don't know. I don't think it's going to be like an invasion like we had, but it seems like something's happening there because again, 2020 has to be terrible.
When this happens next spring or summer, like you literally cannot go out. Like these, you've seen them.
Yeah, it's like a locust thing.
Yeah,
they're
like
everywhere.
2.5
humongous.
inches. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like if I had a bag full of dollar coins and I just threw them at you. Yeah. That's what it would be like walking through that.
For like 8 weeks of hell.
Really, 8 weeks?
Yeah. Like it's, yeah.
What's funny is like that's when the quarantine will lift and you guys will actually
we'll be like,
that. It's like everyone's free to go outside.
Yeah, so that's just going to be...
Yeah.
I thought it was like everywhere, but apparently it's only like a Midwest thing that we have the little bastards. And
no, this happened. There are what you're describing sounds familiar. Like there are these. I don't remember the time frames, but gypsy moths are kind of on that schedule or a schedule like that. And here I just looked this up because this year it's been particularly bad. Now it's not like what you're describing, obviously, but like everyone who's gone in the woods, you go camping, whatever it is. There's this constant like drumbeat of like kind of sound. And this year it's like. I'm like, this is what my tinnitus is like, everyone. Enjoy. Like, this is like, it's crazy, like how loud it is.
Yep. When that happens next year, don't worry. I only bring it up once or twice on the podcast.
I expect to see some video of your backyard looking like an India locust invasion.
Oh, it will.
So,
are
they like bright green?
No, they've got like big green eyes. Like the thing is like they're completely harmless. Like they're not basically.
Yeah. Well, they eat. I mean, they eat leaves, right? I mean,
but no. Realistically, I think they come up they mate and then they die. Then they die, and then the little bastards go back into the ground for 17 more years or whatever.
What is the point of this creature?
There is none. Zero. But it will be like impossible to go outside, and anybody who's experienced this will know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. So, anyways, my 2021 is already ruined. Looking forward to the year after that.
I think we all are.
Anyways, Flight Sim is out. Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Yep, no controversy there. No problems. So that's been nice.
Although it is one of their best reviewed games ever from Microsoft. Like once you get past the downloading and then the downloading and the downloading.
Yes. So aside from the problems that people had with that, because I guess like the preload was just a very small percentage of the actual thing, and then the day came and So obviously that was a cluster, but it's some of the early stuff. Obviously there are these great tips. You can look this up. There are great places to go and visit in this game because they're beautifully rendered and they're really great. But then there are other parts of the world that are kind of like Apple Maps version 1 bad quality. And like one of the ones I remember for some reason is I guess like Buckingham Palace looks like an office building.
Yeah.
Like it's like this generic, structure. So yeah, but I mean, my God, what do you expect? It's like they didn't accurately map every inch of the planet, jerks. I mean, whatever.
It's a fun game though. I'd love to get like the whole
the whole setup. We're actually,
But
what you really need is one of those panoramic things, or I guess in the future maybe even that virtual reality.
Yeah, I think the VR headset is the natural place for that game to go. Like you get all the controls and all that stuff. That's the grand poobah of setups, I think. Yeah.
I'm okay.
Yeah. So we got that. It's Wednesday. Not too much else is going on, I don't think.
No, just the lingering effects of the Apple Epic battle kind of continues. I don't know. I put a link to this in the comments to the most recent article, but there is a video that everyone who's concerned about this topic should watch. It was Eric Sweeney doing the keynote address at DICE back in probably February. So it was this year. And he discusses all of the issues that are raised by this case. I mean, this is something Epic has been kind of fretting over for a long time. And people, they remember, you may remember this guy went after Microsoft when they started with the Microsoft Store, because he didn't want to see like a mobile style monopoly occur on Windows. He was kind of afraid of that happening. And at that time I was like, this guy's nuts. And, obviously that never happened, right? So the Windows Store, the Microsoft Store now has never really took off in any appreciable way. And we have lots of nice choice on Windows if you want to play games, places you can get games from, game services and so forth. There's a lot of it. It's nice. It's it's kind of highlights the problem with iOS and Android, but you should watch this video. He's very well spoken. He's funny even. He lays out the whole thing, and it's in the Apple retaliates against Epic post. It's in the comments. It's really, really worth watching.
Well, maybe I will. Maybe I won't.
It's probably 20 minutes, 30 minutes. It's not that long. You should watch it.
What'd you put in the comments of?
It's the Apple retaliates against Epic post.
Gotcha. All right.
Just 1,000 comments, so you should be able to find it.
Yeah, real simple. That's
probably still have my clipboard. Maybe I could just send it to you. Anyway.
Jerk.
Nope.